that was the debut trailer that appeared during the opening ceremonies yesterday for the brand new World of Warcraft expansion. And Kat and I are still here with Cory Stockton because the questions just keep coming in.
They do. I've got a few I just want to fire off real quick if it's okay. Alrighty. Okay, from Texan71, any word on new heirlooms for 4.3 and how heirlooms will work in 5.0?
Yeah, we've actually got a couple new things for heirlooms in 4.3. You're actually going to be able to get some of them now from the Darkmoon Fair. The Darkmoon Fair got a complete revamp in patch 4.3 to offer a ton of new content, a lot of stuff for different players, and that's one place you're going to be able to get heirlooms now there as well. As far as moving into 5.0, we do have plans for a couple new heirloom slots. We just got to figure out how they're going to fit into the game as far as where they're rewarded at. Okay. But we're definitely going to continue to add new heirlooms, and you'll see that in 5.0.
And how far will you be able to use heirlooms to? Have you made that decision? What level?
It'll probably work similar to Cataclysm, where the new ones will work from 85 to 90, but the classic heirlooms will work still up to 80, like they did previously.
Okay. And from Eldercar JS, for Cory, 3 new battleground types were mentioned for Mist. How many will there be at launch, and will there be 10v10 and 15v10-15?
Our goal would be to have all of them at launch, is what we would love to have. Here at Blizzcon, we wanted to take a chance to show what we were thinking about doing. We're definitely furthest along on the payload style map and the murder ball kind of style map. Those are the two that we've made the most progress on. And our goal would be to get them all. You know, it just comes down to what can we fit in by the time we have to ship. Doing an arena is something we haven't done for a little while, so we're pretty excited about that too. And so we really felt like it was a good chance to kind of make sure PvP players were getting what they needed on their side as well.
Yeah, it seems like there's going to be a lot for them in this expansion, including World PvP, which is cool. Here we go. We already answered the one, Damon Gildas, Death Knights. Pandarans will not be Death Knights. But we did have a good question about, or a lot of questions actually, about battle pets. You did say there's some exceptions. Are bind on account and bind on, I guess, are bind on account pets one of those exceptions, or will they be tradable?
Well, bind on account pets are going to work with the system now, since all pets essentially are going to be bound on account. Okay. So when you log on one character, any set of pets you've gotten on him are going to appear in your other characters as well.
So will I be able to trade something that I earn, for example, like a Blizzcon pet? Am I going to be able to trade that now?
Blizzcon pets are right now on the list of things that we don't want allowed to be tradable because they're a unique thing for an event. Like if you went to that event, say you went to WWI in 2008 and got the Tyrael pet there, for example, we want that to still feel unique. That's not something we want, you know, to show up all over the world and be tradable. But that's more the exception than it is the rule. Our goal is to have everything be tradable and have everything be playable in the system, and we just have to make some exceptions for things that don't fit.
And they also inflate the economy, I would imagine, dramatically.
Yeah, you never know what could happen.
Exactly. You have a couple you want to throw in?
Yes, we've got a lot of good ones. I don't know if he's going to answer some of these, but we can ask him.
Hey,
this one comes from @RobKayan, and Rob says, who or what is the main villain in Mists of Pandaria, like Arthas and Wrath of the Lich King or Deathwing for Cataclysm?
Well, we actually don't have what we're calling a main villain. Okay. You know, you're not going to see that main villain on the cover of the box, like we did with Arthas.
See a nice panda, right?
Exactly. We're definitely going for the goal that the expansion is about exploration, adventure, finding a new land. But obviously, you need things to kill. You got to have raids. You got to have those raid bosses.
The evil panda, right?
Yeah, clearly. But that's where we're the things like the Mantid and the Shah and the Mogu that we talked about in the preview panel yesterday, that's where they're going to fit in. And we're going to build those characters up to be strong characters that you're going to want to take down in raids. It's just a matter of developing those stories and getting them into the game in the right way.
Interesting. All right, good answer.
Lord Gabriel wanted to know, and this might be a little sneak peek in what we're about to hear, but will there be a new profession? And if not, and if so, or even if not, will we be able to have a third profession ever?
We're not planning to add a new profession currently for Mists of Pandaria. We're kind of looking at the pet battle system as that new accessible system for all players. It's obviously not a profession, but it's something everyone can do in their off time. So we kind of feel like it fits that same spot of gameplay. As far as having 3 professions, it's been on and off the table over the last 3 expansions. And currently it's off the table again just because of the number of things that players do. We're giving them so many new options. We kind of don't want to give you too many options at one time because now you want to max all 3. You want to get the achievements for all 3. So sometimes you can give people too much. So currently that's not on the table for 5.0.
I think that sounds reasonable.
Excellent. All right, got another one. This is an interesting question for you, Cory. It comes from David Lane @lane.ca. He says, for Cory, with no main villain, as you just talked about, MOP seems like a prelude expansion to a larger expansion after that. Is that accurate? Is this sort of starting a new arc?
I mean, you could say I don't know if you could say we're starting a new arc, where we definitely talk about the expansions one after the next.
Yep.
You know, like the fact that we're doing this now, we're certainly talking about what would happen after this and how would those play into each other. Because the patch content has to work like that. The same way we're building up to Deathwing with Cataclysm, we have to be able to build up to something here too.
And with, I mean, Mike's saying you guys are hopefully going to start doing expansion a little bit quicker maybe, so does that mean you have to plan a little bit further out now?
Exactly, and that I hope that that's visible to people here at the show. We've introduced a lot of expansions at Blizzcon, but we've never had this much content to show or be playable. You know, if you look back to Burning Crusade or even look back to Wrath of the Lich King, we had concept art a lot of times.
Or a CG trailer.
Or a CG trailer. This time we have an entire start zone that's playable all the way through. We had full videos of zones that right now we're questing back at the office. So, you know, I hope it's visible that we're really trying to get things out quicker. You know, it's like we don't want to make people wait. We don't want to wait. We want to play it too. So.
But it's tough because I'm sure you got to plan, you know, 2 or 3 expansions now at a time.
It is.
So one of the questions that we've gotten a lot is people from other countries asking if the WoW Annual Pass is going to be available.
Latin America
like in
keeps
Latin
tweeting
America
us
all the time. Now this is actually answered in the forums, and I've linked that in my Twitter feed. So please go look for that to read all the information. But I don't know if you have any information on that for the audience you wanted to share?
It's the kind of thing we would want as many people as possible to have access to. There's no reason we wouldn't want it to be everywhere. I think it just comes down to, as far as the business side of that, is that going to work in certain places? But our goal would be for that to be available to everyone, everywhere.
I think that is their goal as well, from what we are seeing on the thing.
Getting Portuguese is great. We're super excited about that too. We've been working on that for a long time.
Yeah, I cannot. That's actually supposed to launch in Brazil in November. Is that correct? That'll be exciting for that. Team OP has asked for Cory, will we be seeing more inventive ways to travel through dungeons like teleport spots on the floor?
You know, we've done the teleport spots historically in places. We kind of looked at that as a fallback. We didn't do that because we thought it was cool.
Right.
We did that because, oh man, this dungeon's a little bigger than we thought it was going to be, and these runbacks are long. Teleports, sometimes they pull you out of the fiction a little bit, you know, when they send you somewhere. The way we would like to do that, if we do it, is something that would fit. So if we did do a teleport, you know, it would fit with the lore of that dungeon.
The flying mounts taking you to where you die.
Ancrage, where you got the mount for the raid. One of the raids we're working on right now, instead of doing teleports, we've actually got this idea where we're building doors into the whole raid all the way through, like doors that look like there's more areas behind what you're actually playing in, and instead of a portal, you would actually, when you come back, you would come out through these doors instead, so it feels like it's built into the whole thing.
All right, Cory, well, we got to jump over to the panel because it's getting started right now. Here we go. It's the World of